Blink. I just felt like you weren't blinking. It just made me so uncomfortable. Like I just pictured somebody like clicking onto our video and saying, "Yo,
watch this."
Outside the Wire is about a drone pilot for the Army. He makes a decision that costs soldiers their lives. He's then punished by being assigned to work with Leo, an advanced top-secret android. Together they have to stop an enemy from using nuclear weapons on the U.S. This movie...
excuse me.
So...
I was actually very excited for this movie.
Yeah.
I like Anthony Mackie. I think he's a really good actor. This is definitely my type of movie. Like, I thought it was going to be cerebral, really not in a in super, but because he's an android and stuff like that. Yeah, it was not. It was none of those things.
Yeah.
The fact that you guys have nothing to say says so much about this movie.
I mean, I can talk, but I was gonna let you guys go.
Okay. So this movie was kind of fun, and that is like the best I can say about it. It's such a misuse of the material, you know, like it so easily could have been commentary on like war and androids compared to like human life and reflections on that sort of thing, and it was none of it. It built up all of those things, and it was like, oh, this is going to be about the difference between human life and like mechanical life, but it wasn't that. It didn't go for that. It also tried to be like, oh, this is going to be commentary on war and why war is bad, but then it didn't do that either.
And it almost is pro-war sometimes.
I know. And then you thought it was going to be commentary on technology being bad and like some sort of drag on global warfare and how we shouldn't let things advance out of our control. And it wasn't even that. It was like, it was nothing. It was just a scattershot of ideas that they didn't grab onto any of them. It was just like a frayed rope with loose threads, and none of them were picked up. It was just an action movie with action sequences that tried to be deep and was not at all.
I literally, when we got done, I literally said to Seth, I was like, this movie is trying to say something so hard, and I have no idea what it is. I do not know which side it landed on, because exactly like you said, sometimes it's pro-war, other times it's anti-war. It's pro-technology, it's anti... It just kept flip-flopping, and then it never landed.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Like, it was almost
so
like,
weird.
hey, we're going to show you all the sides, and then we'll land this plane and show you where... And it just never does.
Yeah.
So if I'm using like the context clues that they give us, I think it's going for an anti-war stance, but it uses its like pro-war characters and stuff like that to make like... But it uses its pro-war characters, but not in a negative way, so it just looks like it's supporting their ideals also. Also, like, I went into this movie thinking, like, just from the trailer alone, I was getting, like, Terminator vibes. Like, I thought it was going to be a movie about our over-reliance on technology and how it's going to outdo us, like, and overcome us one day. Like, that's what I was thinking. It was not that, but it kind of was.
I mean, sort of. That's the thing. It was sort of that, but not really. And I'm a little bit confused as to who this is for. Who are you targeting with this? Who's the audience?
Everyone.
They tried everyone and ended up with no one because I just don't understand who this is for, what they're trying to do, what they're going for. It's just really sad because Anthony Mackie deserves like way better. I think he's a pretty great actor and is a really great action actor in general. And this is like not good. He deserves way better than this because he is capable of a lot better. And he does pretty well with what he's given, but it's just not good, you know? It's just not.
We talked about this too. I think you guys are both sold on Anthony Mackie more than I am. I don't like his shtick in the Marvel movies.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. Like I never thought he was bad at all. Like I don't think he's bad in this movie because he's better. He's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, he is.
But I don't know. I just like, and maybe it's just the stuff that he gets is why.
Right.
But I just like, I don't know that I've ever thought he deserves more because I haven't seen him do enough yet. But maybe I haven't watched the right things.
I can just see the capability, you know. I can see the potential in his performances, and I sit there and think, with a really good action movie, he could fucking kill it. You know?
Yeah, I think he would be a really good. I know he could be a really good like solid action star.
Yeah.
But one of those that has like a legitimate like evolution or growth throughout the movie.
Yeah, he can actually act.
You can actually act, and then the action around it is fun.
Yeah.
And I kind of was thinking that's what this was going to be.
That's what I was hoping for.
And yeah, it was not.
Yeah.
I think I just know going into January that we're going to get bad movies. So I just know they're going to be bad before we watch them, even for the trailers. And sometimes I'm wrong.
I just had hope, you know. Anthony Mackie.
What's that like?
The one thing I don't know if you guys will agree, I was trying to find something good about it. Just on a pure technical standpoint, I thought it looked all right. I thought the production value was all right. As far as like the CG could have been really terrible, and I thought it was pretty good.
So one of my biggest complaints comes from the cinematography in it, especially in the beginning, because it is like this extreme overuse of lens flare and blurriness over the screen. And there's so many times that you literally cannot see what's happening. Like, you don't know what's going on because there's so much like lens flare and filter and blurriness and dust just everywhere. And that's cool that they want to do that. Like, that says something, and that there's a point to that type of thing, but they didn't have a point with this. They just did it, and it was like, oh, now we're just doing lens flare. Now this is going to be blurry, and it's like, why?
Like,
Why
I had to look up and
this?
see if Bad Robot was a production company behind it, because it looked so J.J. Abrams.
It did. It really did. I had to look up if this was him, because I was like, this is so J.J. Abrams, and it just looked bad. It looked really bad, and it kind of mellowed out about halfway through the movie, but then towards the end again, it started picking the blurriness back up, the lens flare back up, and there was just no reason. I'm fine with that if there is a point to it and you're saying something with that, but they were not. There was no point to it. They weren't saying anything. It was like frills for the sake of frills. You know, it's like they knew this looked boring, so let's throw something on there, you know?
I remember writing down that, have you guys ever seen any of those like sci-fi action movies? They're kind of like a B movie.
Like what
kind? Yeah.
I can't think of any like. Anyway, this movie felt like one of those, but with a bigger budget.
Yeah.
Like,
it's because Netflix just throws money.
Yeah, like the story is not quite put together, and then let's just throw $10 million at it or whatever their budget is, and make a movie, and we'll make it as we go. That's kind of what this felt like.
See, I agree with you that I think I like his, I don't know, cyber skeleton or whatever you want to call it. I think it looked fine. Like, I think it did look good, but I think the production, like design itself, I think looked very stagey. It felt like it was shot on a soundstage, which I assume that it fucking was. But I don't know. I like the overhead stuff at the beginning with, like, when he makes that decision initially, and there's a lot of war stuff going on. It just looked so cheap to me, and like very like Call of Duty.
Yeah, I can see
It
that
absolutely
for sure.
did. Yeah. Okay. One of the things I put in my review online was it felt like this movie was written by the autocomplete on my cell phone's keyboard. Like, it just seemed like just one thing thrown after another, and it's like, it's war with drones and an android and explosions.
Like
and
Rick and Morty.
It was just like thrown together. It felt like it was written by like some sort of algorithm, you know? It was like a computer generated movie, and it felt like that in the script too, you know? They were just saying nonsense words, just throwing out jargon nonsense in the hopes that it sounds like they're saying something when they weren't. It was just a lot of nothing. It was a lot of fluff, you know?
How did you guys feel about, Damson Idris? He played Harp, the main guy.
He was pretty good.
I didn't hate him. I thought it was the guy from Power Rangers, honestly, until just now.
Yeah, him and Anthony Mackie were pretty good.
I thought he was fine. I mean, I don't remember anything about his performance that was like that stood out, but
there were 3 co-writers on this. 2 of them, it was their first movie, and the other one I've not heard of anything he's done, and I think it shows.
Yeah.
Oh my God! From the director of Escape Plan, I should have looked that shit up before we watched it.
He
directed Escape
Outside
Plan.
the Wire is
Yeah.
directed by the same.
I
I like Escape Plan. I'm not even embarrassed. That
Right.
I like it. I'm not
The
saying it's
Right.
good. I'm saying I like it.
1408, which I didn't actually hate that one.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
that movie.
Yeah. So he's hit or miss, and this one is a miss.
Big miss.
All right, let's do numbers, Chris.
I gave it a 30%.
35.
28. Our number is a 31. Don't watch it. It's free on Netflix. Skip it.
Thanks. Bye.